All right, guys, we're live. This is the first NBA News Desk. This is something I've wanted to do for a while, where I go live, talk about either the recent news, rumors, things going on around the NBA. Tonight, we're going to talk about the Lakers, the Pacers, the Raptors, Kyle Lowry, Myles Turner. Is Kyle Lowry going to the Lakers? Let's talk about it. It's NBA News Desk. All right, guys, I'm excited about this. This is fun. So I thought tonight I'd cover two rumors that I thought was interesting that I think a lot of people are interested in. The first one I want to talk about is a rumor about Myles Turner with the Indiana Pacers. There's a rumor out there, and this comes from Kevin O'Connor of The Ringer. He says that, let's see, the Pacers are having trade conversations I have not seen reported. I believe I had that in my story that that the Warriors had had some conversations with the Pacers. The Pacers have been one of the more active teams. That the name I've heard involved in those conversations is Myles Turner. Now, this isn't that surprising to me. I wanted to kind of discuss this and analyze this a little bit. The Golden State Warriors, and we've seen this from multiple stories and multiple rumors, things out there. The Golden State Warriors want to win now. They have Steph Curry in his prime, and so they have two picks in this draft. They have a lot of assets that they could make something like this happen. This is actually a trade that I could see possibly happening. Myles Turner is a really nice center. He is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. I think he was top 5 in the voting for Defensive Player of the Year last year. Really solid. He can stretch the floor. He rebounds. He defends. Just a very nice all-around center that is always going to make his team better defensively with his rim protection and the things that he does. He fits kind of nicely with what the Warriors have in terms of needing a stretch 5 to just spread that floor. Myles Turner isn't like a lights-out shooter, but he can definitely spread the floor and hit threes at a league average, if not a little bit above. He's a very nice player, and he would fit really nicely with what the Warriors want to do. The question for me is, what are the Warriors sending to Indiana for this to happen? It's obviously going to be draft picks, and they have 7 and 14 in this draft, which is, in my mind, is one of the deeper drafts in the league, or in a long time. I mean, this draft, honestly, teams in like the 20s are going to get nice players, but 7 and 14 means you'll get some nice prospects, and that for a lot of teams, 7 and 14 for Myles Turner, you know, that's an interesting trade. Now, for the Pacers, we know what they have. They have Sabonis and Turner. Maybe not the most cohesive unit. We know that they can defend. Sabonis has been an all-star in the past. A really nice duo, but I don't know if it's the greatest fit. I don't know if it's the long-term answer there. Myles Turner's contract, I believe it's around $17 million. Let me know in the comments if you know. I could see them wanting to move on from Myles Turner so that Sabonis can be their full-time center, and then if they can fill that roster out to have a little bit of a better fit with more players, I could see that happening. The only thing is that the Pacers have already signed this offseason Rick Carlisle. Rick Carlisle left the Mavericks. He's won a championship in his past. He goes to the Pacers, and everything we've heard about Rick Carlisle is that he wants to win now, and that trades they want to make happen, they want to win. So that's why this is a little interesting to me. If the Pacers are going to make a trade, maybe they go for those draft picks, but they're going to want something else. Maybe they would want Kelly Oubre or something like that to come onto their team. That's something I could see possibly happening. Could be interesting if that's something that fills in the gaps like they want. And honestly, something like that might work. I don't know Kyle Oubre's contract situation off the top of my head, whether that's like a sign and trade that needs to happen or Oubre's on contract, but Oubre would be a nice player. He's shown that he is a really nice defender and that he can hit spot up threes. And so if you're switching out Myles Turner for a nice role player wing and Kelly Oubre, and we use that word role player. Some people think that's like a bad word, but Kelly Oubre is a high level role player, that 3-and-D wing. that could fit really nicely with what they want to do and everything they have there. And that would allow Sabonis to play center. And Sabonis, against the majority of centers in the league, is going to do work in the post. He's going to have do really nice work scoring on the different centers in this league. So it's interesting to me. I could see it being a possibility. This could also be something that one of these teams is leaking to kind of gauge how interested other teams are. Sometimes teams and agents will leak something like this to someone like Kevin O'Connor, knowing they're going to talk about it. And then what happens is it gets the phones ringing. This could have also been an old thing happening from a month ago in those offices, but maybe the front offices are letting this news out, and then they just want to gauge interest and see how much teams are willing to pay. Because guess what? If you're another team in the NBA that's interested in Myles Turner, say you want a nice center, and you see what's going on there, maybe you call the Pacers or maybe you call Golden State to see what else they'd like for those 2 picks. Because if the cost of those picks is Myles Turner and you want those picks and you might have a little bit better player, maybe you talk to Golden State and make something happen. I don't know. It's an interesting rumor. It seems to make sense. 7-14 is nice. And maybe they're just trying to do something where it's like, because I know the Pacers have the 13th pick in the draft as well. Maybe the Warriors are interested in trading back, giving 7 to the Pacers and getting Myles Turner and moving back to 13 or something like that. But they're, you've got to make those contracts work. So I don't know, but it's an interesting rumor. Interesting. I don't know if it's going to happen. A lot of times when you hear these leaks, it really means nothing's going to happen. It's negotiations are being made. What you can take from this is that the Warriors and the Pacers are really looking to make some sort of trade. Both teams are trying to win now. That's why I honestly think that this is probably not a lot of legs to it. But Myles Turner fits with what the Warriors are trying to do. Plus, you know what? That would mean that maybe they are not as up on James Wiseman, which is not a great sign for the Warriors. So, all around an interesting idea. I don't know if it's going to happen. It's not a great sign for James Wiseman, if anything, if the Warriors are leaking this. That's why maybe this is coming from the Pacers. I don't know, but it's interesting, guys. All right, before we move on, let's talk about Manscaped. Guys, we've got all the Manscaped products here. Let's do the read. Attention listeners across the galaxy, all the way from Australia to Houston. Do we have a pube problem? This is where they told me to insert space music. Can you hear that? We've got production, baby. If so, our friends at Manscaped have cleared you for takeoff with their 4th generation and brand new Lawnmower 4.0. Kick your pubes to the next planet with the Performance Package 4.0. Like the giant package that Jeff Bezos drove into outer space. Could have used Manscaped on that rocket. The orbits in your pants will feel like you're in zero gravity when you use the best tools for the job from the leaders in male grooming. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get your rocket ready for takeoff by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with code HoopsNerd20. 20% off plus free shipping, guys. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code HoopsNerd20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code HoopsNerd20 at manscaped.com for a clean trinity and beyond. Your space balls will thank you. Is that not great? I'll read whatever they tell me to read. I don't even care. All right, let's get to the other rumor out here. Okay, so this rumor comes from B.A. Turner, who writes for the LA Times. This rumor states that Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan are reportedly interested in joining the Lakers, per B.A. Turner. All right, so guys, this is another one of those rumors. When you hear Lakers rumors, by the way, there are so many media members covering the Lakers. It's crazy how many people have connections with that team. It's a family-owned team, so some of these leaks that come out are, probably the Lakers trying to put out feelers out there to try to get something going and something happening. But for the LA Times guy to report this, that makes me want to believe a little bit about what's going on. Furby Jr., welcome to the live chat. The first ever news desk, Furby Jr. joined. The music makes me want to shave my nuts. Quality entertainment for the people out there on the NBA news desk, whatever we're calling this. Anyways, Kyle Lowry to the Lakers. Kyle Lowry, if I'm not mistaken, let me double check, is a free agent this year. And so that's actually that kind of is a problem for the Lakers and for let's see. Kyle Lowry's contract signed a 1 year 30, let's see. Yep, Kyle Lowry, well, let's see, 2021 30 million. Yep, Kyle Lowry is a free agent this year. And so that makes things interesting for the Lakers because the Lakers don't have a lot of empty cap space. They have two of the best players. I mean, two top 5 players in the NBA. LeBron James, when he's healthy, is the best player in the NBA. And when Anthony Davis is healthy, is also a top 5 player in the NBA, arguably the second best. We could argue about it for days. But two top 5 players, when they're healthy, and they are getting paid a lot of money. A lot of money. So the Lakers do not have a lot of cap space. But what the Lakers do have is some free agents of their own. And we've all heard about the rumors around Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder is a player that's going to be trying to get a big contract this offseason. He's an interesting player. So basically what has to happen here, if the Lakers want to bring in Kyle Lowry, they can't just sign him outright. But what they can do is do some sort of sign and trade. If they can sign and trade Dennis Schroeder to Toronto to bring in Kyle Lowry, that would make this work. Now, Toronto is not trading Kyle Lowry or sign and trading Kyle Lowry to the Lakers for just Dennis Schroeder. That helps the Lakers. It doesn't help. Kyle Lowry's a much better player than Dennis Schroeder. Absolutely. He's just 100% is. He's going to be a Hall of Famer probably with his ring and All-Star games. That's the type of talent he is. Well, borderline Hall of Famer. He's definitely an all-star level player, NBA champion. Anyways, this is a player that could really help the Lakers out. Lowry's a great defender. He's one of those guys that plays off of people. He has those incredible intangibles that helps you win the game, drawing charges, defending. He's got a badunk-a-dunk that can guard any other guard in the NBA who's trying to post him up. The guy is strong as a tree trunk on a hill. He's incredible, and he's a passer. He has got fire, intensity, everything you'd want in a player. You bring Kyle Lowry over to play with LeBron and Anthony Davis, it's perfect. His ability to shoot the ball and all these things just would be incredible, and he's another playmaker that can be on the floor when LeBron's on the bench, so that when the Lakers have Anthony Davis and LeBron, one's on the bench, one's playing and getting rest. If you have Lowry kind of helping those transitions, maybe setting up Anthony Davis so it's not so much wear and tear on him, it's just a perfect fit. Now, what are you going to have to do to make this happen for Toronto? I actually think that Kyle Lowry is the type of guy that's going to be willing to do a sign and trade. These things are not super common, but for someone like Kyle Lowry, he's 35. He's probably going to want to do like a solid to the Raptors, who he's played for and won a title with, and he's incredibly beloved there. To leave the Raptors, I'm guessing he'd be willing to do a sign and trade if he wanted to go to the Lakers. But what the Lakers are going to have to do is give assets to the Toronto Raptors. And so what they're going to have to do is some sort of sign and trade with Lowry, which they could absolutely do. You can make those contracts match because both teams are those teams. They can both sign these players, make the contracts work, and maybe you give big money to both. It honestly makes both players happy in that situation. But what the Lakers are also going to have to do to make the Raptors willing to actually do this is send them a pick. We talked about this earlier. This is one of the deepest drafts I've seen in a long time. The Lakers, I believe, have the number 22 pick in this draft. And so, that's actually a pretty decent pick. In mock drafts and everything, you're looking at players that are, you could get a nice player at that spot. JT Thor. You can get players with upside. You can get like a, if a Trey Mann is falling in the draft, or maybe like there's just a ton, guys. I don't want to name off all the players in the draft. There's a lot of guys, but believe me, Miles McBride, guys like that. There's really nice players in this draft. Jared Butler is supposedly falling in this draft. So the Raptors could have the number 4 and the number 22 in this draft, and they get something instead of nothing for Lowry, who's free agent. So it does give the Raptors something, a first-round pick. And guess what? The Lakers get a incredible guard to play alongside LeBron and Anthony Davis. That's, the Lakers are going to be in the same boat they were last year, where you're kind of playing with fire a little bit because you've got older players in LeBron and you'd have an older player in Kyle Lowry. And you just cross your fingers that they can stay healthy. And then you've got Anthony Davis, who's very injury prone. So I don't know, but it's an interesting rumor. Do I think it's going to happen? Maybe. If the Raptors, and the thing is that in these sign and trade situations, the power is in the players' hands. They make the decisions. They decide if they want to go somewhere or not. Like Kyle Lowry can go really wherever he wants. Maybe the Knicks give him a big time contract. Maybe he just re-signs with the Raptors. The Raptors have the number 4 pick. It's an incredible pick in this draft, and they have a chance to, go after someone like Jalen Suggs, could be the replacement. And so that's why maybe Lowry's willing to move on. It's kind of like Mike Conley with Memphis. Maybe he's just thinking about helping out the team he was with for a while and going somewhere else. It could happen. Now, DeMar DeRozan, I think he's one of those guys that's, I don't know the biannual exception or the mid-level exception, what the Lakers have available. They may have one of those, and I do not know. But those things are up to like $10 million and below. And so there might be a possibility to sign DeMar DeRozan. And if they can't get Lowry, they possibly can get DeRozan, who actually might be a really nice fit next to LeBron and AD. If you have DeRozan on that team, he can handle the ball, he can pass. That makes a lot of sense. And I'd probably rather have Kyle or DeMar DeRozan than Dennis Schroeder in a lot of ways. Just a bigger player. Has been pretty durable, too. Let's see. Ezekiel Raisibe. It's been reported Schroeder thinks he's looking for a $100 million contract. So it's the type of contract that could maybe fit with Kyle Lowry. I don't think the Raptors are going to want to give, what is that? 4 years, $100 million, $20 million per year, maybe? I doubt the Raptors want to give that much money to Dennis Schroeder, but maybe you can do a smaller deal, like a $20 million to $25 for Schroeder to bring him over to the Raptors, and they get another pick. I mean, that's a way to get 2 nice picks. And 22 in this draft. Normally, you hear number 22 pick, and you think, that's not so. This draft is a deep draft, guys. Go to SLC Dunk and read the mock draft I did. There were players in like the upper 20s that were like nice, solid players. Really nice prospects. And we know that the Toronto Raptors, are great at developing, so maybe they'd be interested in something like this. Let's see. Who do you think would be better for the Lakers, Lowry or Westbrook? Ezekiel Raisibe. Lowry or Westbrook? And I've seen the Westbrook rumor, and maybe we should just mention that too. That's someone that probably LeBron is interested in playing with. Westbrook. I would probably rather have Kyle Lowry because I think Kyle Lowry's just a more consistent player. And I know a lot of Westbrook fans out there would go crazy and say, what are you talking about? Lowry's won a title, and Lowry can consistently hit shots. And at the end of games, we've seen Lowry set players up, and in close moments, he's okay letting another guy be in charge. Like Lowry's okay letting LeBron be LeBron at the end of games, or Anthony Davis. He's going to do the other things to help them win, distribute the ball, draw charges. I mean, the end of games are going to be really nice for the Lakers if they get Kyle Lowry. Westbrook, we've seen, incredible athlete, and we know the triple doubles and the insane talent. I just don't know if end of games Westbrook helps you win as much as Kyle Lowry does, honestly. So I'd rather have Lowry, and I think if I'm a GM, I'm going for Lowry every time. And for the Lakers, Ezekiel Raisibe, reckon Lowry might want to return home to Philly and replace Ben Simmons. That's the other thing. The only thing is the Philadelphia 76ers are in the same spot in terms of contracts. They are just maxed out. And so you'd have to do some sort of sign and trade with Lowry to the Sixers. But, and that actually in a lot of ways makes a lot of sense. Lowry on the Sixers is really interesting. But Lowry, is 35, and you're giving up Ben Simmons, who probably there's not a more polarizing player in the NBA in terms of who likes him and who doesn't. But I'm in the camp that I'm not a big Ben Simmons fan. I just, I don't know. If I can get a number 22 pick instead of Ben Simmons, that's a question right there. Would you rather have a first round pick, or would you rather have Ben Simmons? And Ben Simmons is really nice, and maybe that's, that's tough because he just can't shoot, guys. He just can't. And not only can't, but refuses to. So in the playoffs, won't shoot the ball and won't even dunk it. Like in close situations, you can't have him on the floor. Like he's like a second, third quarter player. Like, he's a first quarter through third quarter player. You can't really play him in the fourth quarter, because he just won't shoot the ball. And like honestly won't. And how many years do we have to wait before he learns how to do it or decides to? I don't know. I'm not a fan. So, but anyways, I think the Lakers actually have some interesting pieces they could send. Maybe you do combine Kuzma and Dennis Schroeder somehow and trade them there. But then that's the thing. Dennis Schroeder is also got to agree to these things. And so my guess is Schroeder's going to go where he's going to get the biggest money. That is honestly the biggest thing for NBA players is they're just trying to get, a lot of times they're just trying to get the best contract, and someone like Dennis Schroeder is just looking to get the biggest money. So wherever he can get that, he's probably going to be more interested to go there. So anyways, guys, that's basically all I got to say tonight. I think these are interesting rumors. I think it's something to watch. Let me know in the comments what you think about NBA News Desk. We're going to keep doing this multiple times a week, maybe. I don't know. I got to figure it out. I'm trying to feel this out, what I want to do, but I want to do this, and I think this is fun. So anyways, guys, I want to give a shout out to our All-Stars. Let's see. Let's do this. All right. Big shout out to Kelsey Hamer, the Hammer, and one, Anton Warren, Isikli Raisibe, the man from down under, JT Buckets Wardell, Austin R. Grant, editor extraordinaire, Eric C. C stands for champion, Donald schooling all of us, Super Mitt Robach, DW to CB, Darren Williams to Carlos Boozer, Jorge Arrizaga, mi amigo de abajo, Lee Christensen, driving the lane, Ryan, the legend, Perry, Justin Ty H, Patrick Akubo, the connoisseur, Robert Hall, Hall of Fame, and DW Jazz going all the way. Guys, that's all I've got tonight. That was a lot of fun. Make sure that if you're new here, that you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell if you haven't already to know when we go live so you can follow these, and you can join the channel, be a part of the live chat, and support the channel. I appreciate it. We're in the off season. It's officially rumor season, so we got to do more rumors. There's a bunch out there. I'm going to do more of these. Stay tuned. I will talk to you next time.